Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you guys are having a great Wednesday. So the markets were a little in turmoil today. So we were up and then we were way down. So we're going to take a look at what's going on there. Obviously in the markets for the most part, S&P, Dow Jones, and NASDAQ were kind of mixed a little bit today, but the Bitcoin was up quite nicely today before it kind of went down a little bit, but it still finished up in the green along with Ethereum. And then the miners were up nicely as well. Some of them were up double digits before they pulled back a little bit along with Bitcoin. So we'll take a look at what's going on there on today. We'll also take a look at the couple stories that we do have, which is one from this is CoinDesk. Bitcoin tumbles as well. Crypto market swing causes 310 million in liquidations. So it's obviously from today. And then we have a story on Bit Digital, which announces expansion of mining capacity. So this is good for them as well. They need to grow. And then we also have Iris Energy provides 5.5 exahash installation update. And then we'll actually talk about their updated spreadsheet as well. So it kind of coincides with that story there. Okay, so we'll look at all the details that we do have on it. And as always, you guys know the drill here. This is not financial advice. For entertainment only, do your own research. And as always, I'm investing in following coins and companies. And if you enjoy this type of content, hit the like button, subscribe. It helps me out tremendously. But let's get into the markets here. So if we look at the S&P was down 0.38% to 4,056. Dow Jones was down 0.68% to 33,301. And the NASDAQ was up 0.64% to 12,806. Bitcoin was up. I mean, you can see here on the chart here on the candle, it had a wild day today. If we zoom in nicely on this one, we hit a low today of 27,230. We hit a high of 3,000 or 30,050. That's basically a swing of $2,800 roughly in the day before it closed at 28,426. It's up now in the new day a little bit here, but Bitcoin was up 0.43% on the day. It was up much higher at one point, but obviously came back down. Right now it's up about 1.01%, 1% roughly. So we'll see how that one continues on. Looking at the chart right now, we can see that the RSI on the daily is still looking pretty good. It's at 52, came down nicely here over the last couple of days, but it's still, if we look at the RSI going back to the previous peak here, like we are right now at 53, we were back here. Price at that point was actually lower. So this is a good sign on the 1 hour or on the daily chart, sorry. If we look at the 4-hour chart, the peak here is right now at 56. Last time we were right around here. At that point, Bitcoin was actually higher in price. So we haven't had that reversal yet here on the 4-hour chart. We may, however, have the reversal here on the 1-hour chart. So looking at the RSI here a little bit here, we can see that the RSI is at 50. Last time that 50 was right here. Bitcoin was bouncing off of the 50-day moving average right here and was much lower. So we may have the beginning trend of a possible reversal if this continues, right? If it doesn't continue and we continue going down, well, that kind of nullifies that reversal possibly. But if that happens, our next possible support line is going to be at the 20-day, not the 20-day, 200 weekly moving average, sorry, would be this blue line right here, and that's at approximately 24,124, I believe. If we look at the daily chart, you can see it here, and actually that's the 200 daily moving average. Sorry, that's the 200-day moving average. If we look at the 200 weekly, that is at 25,800, 25,900, roughly almost 26,000 right now. So that would be kind of the next line where we go to right now. But right now, Bitcoin is battling with the 20-day moving average, this yellow line right here, and we'll see if it can continue to do that or if it can go above it. Right now, we are having this little uptrend here in the last 3 days. We'll see if it can continue. Okay. So that's Bitcoin right there. Let's take a look at Ethereum as well. Ethereum is doing the same thing. It's kind of battling with that 20-day moving average as well. You can see it here. It was up today as well. It went up to a high of 1,965, a low of 1,785, and it closed at 1,866, so somewhere in that middle range right there. And we had a swing basically of approximately $200 roughly swing in trading on that one. But it did close up just barely 0.03% on the day. It's up a little bit now again, 1.26 up right now, and it's trading at 1,176 as it is. On this one, the daily chart is also looking pretty good. It's at 49 for the RSI right now. Last time we were pretty close to here, so Bitcoin or Ethereum price was lower at that point, which is good. And then if we look at the 4-hour chart here, we can see that the RSI is at 53. Last time we were back here, price was still higher at that point, kind of similar to what Bitcoin is doing as well. And then if we look at the 1-hour chart, we can see here that it's at 50. And last time we were pretty close to here, and price was at lower at that point as well. So like I said, I'm waiting just for confirmation on the 4-hour chart to see if this is actual reversal that we're seeing here, or if this is like a fake out that we might possibly be witnessing. Okay. So that's Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the markets. Let's take a look at the miners here. The miners, for the most part, had a pretty good day today, other than the little pullback that they had towards the end of it. Let me turn these off here so we can see a little bit better. And here's Annie here. Annie was up 2.61%, but you can see it had a nice spike up when Bitcoin was going up, and then when Bitcoin came down, all the miners came down as well. So they were up 2.61% to 44 cents. Argo was up 5.88% to $1.44. BitDigital was up 7.27% to $1.77. Bitfarms was up 6.6% to $1.13. Cypher was up 4.09% to $2.29. CleanSpark was up 4.09% also to $3.82. Core Scientific was up 9.09% to 39 cents. DigiHost was up 5.1% to $1.65. DMG was actually down 0.09% to 21 cents. Greenidge was up 6.82% to 56 cents. Hive was up 6.05% to $3.33. Hut was up 2.35% to $1.74. Iris was up 6.28% to $4.23. Marathon was up 5.23% to $9.46. Mawson was up 1.33% to $3.05. Raya was up 1.87% to $10.91. Soluna was actually down today, 8.29% to 21 cents. Stronghold was up 7.34% to 99 cents, almost a dollar there. And TerraWolf was up 14.39% to $1.59. That one kind of kept its gains here, but it was up higher. It was closer to like 20%, I think, at one point, even above that a little bit here on the day. So that one had a really good day. Let's take a look at the network hash rate, see what's going on there really quick as well, and then we'll get into the stories. So if we refresh this, we can see that the 7-day average has come down a little bit to 337 million right now. And the 1 day has come down and up. So it was down to 302. It's up a little bit now to 314 million terahashes per second as it is. So we're still seeing that uptrend here happening on the lower ends, and we've kind of peaked here a little bit on the top end. So we'll see if we're going to be trading sideways a little bit as far as the network hash rate is concerned, but we'll see. Okay, so that's it for that one. Here's our first story that we do have. It's on Bitcoin tumbles as wild crypto market swing causes 310 million losses from liquidation. So the CoinDesk Market Index, CMI, which tracks the performance of the broader crypto market, plummeted 5.6% in an hour. So that's a pretty big swing. Not sure why it plummeted. They did say down here, we'll get into it, that coins were added to exchanges, and that possibly is what's booked the market. So crypto markets tumbled suddenly Wednesday afternoon, easing gains from the previous 24 hours in less than an hour. Yeah, we saw that candle that just happened there, and it was a wild ride for Bitcoin. Bitcoin, the largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization, was recently trading at about 28,275, up a fraction of a percentage point, but down from its peak early Wednesday above 30,000. BTC sank as low as 27,264 later in the day before it kind of picked back up a little bit. But here's what it has to say. Traders endured some 310 million of losses from liquidations in the past 24 hours, according to CoinList data, as the wild swing in the crypto prices liquidated both long and short positions. So this could have been like a bull, what do they call that? A bull fake out, right? Trying to get bulls to get in on it, and they didn't, and things started going down south. Also, a blockchain analyst firm Arkham Intelligence noted that crypto trading giant Jump Trading deposited 26.6 million of BTC to exchanges before prices tumbled. Sending tokens to exchanges usually indicates an intention to sell. So that could have been the reason why there 26.6 million worth of tokens got into it, possibly were sold off, and that possibly cascaded into the Bitcoin price going down even further. Okay, so that's it on Bitcoin. We'll see how it goes into tomorrow. Right now, it's looking pretty good. But like I said, right now, I'm still thinking it might possibly go down to like the 200 weekly moving average, if at all. Okay. Our second story here is going to be on BitDigital. So BitDigital Inc. announces expansion of mining capacity. This is really good for them, I believe. They have been pretty slow growing, well, last year and this year as well. Excuse me. And this is going to be a good addition to them as well. So BitDigital is pleased to announce that it has finalized an agreement for 10 megawatts of incremental hosting capacity to power its miners. The hosting facility located in Plattsburgh, New York, is operated by a subsidiary of CoinMint LLC. This new agreement brings the company's total contracted hosting capacity with CoinMint to approximately 30 megawatts. The agreement features an initial 2-year term with an automatic 3-month renewals. So that's good there. And then they didn't provide, obviously, the details of it, how much they're going to be paying for it or anything like that. I believe they have to keep that secret. And then BitDigital intends to deliver approximately 3,010 miners to the facility, which contemplates the purchase of approximately 2,000 new generation miners to fill the capacity. So I don't know if that 2,000 is part of that 3,100 miners they're going to be putting into the facility, or if it's in addition to that as well. So it'd be maybe 5,100, but not very clear on that one. Then the company expects the first tranche of miners to be delivered to the facility and hashing by the end of April 2023. So, I mean, that's only a couple of days away here. And the second tranche to be delivered and hashing by the end of July 2023. So maybe the second tranche, which would be the 2,000, would be delivered by July, which those could be a new purchase in addition to the 3,100 miners. Okay, so that is it for that one. I just wanted to point that out. I thought that was good. They are pretty well capitalized as it is. They have plenty of cash on hand, very little debt, if any. So they definitely can use some of the capital they do have to grow their miners on that one. Okay, so that's it for that one. Our third story now is going to be on Iris Energy. And Iris Energy provides 5.5 exahash installation update. So here's what we have from them. Excuse me. Today, Iris today provided an update on installation of its 5.5 exahash of operating capacity. I believe that's all of the exahash they're going to have available to them right now. I haven't seen any recent news for them getting above that, but we'll see if they can do anything going forward this year as well and increase that. So right now, 5.5 exahash installation update. Iris Energy is pleased to advise that it has increased its operating hash rate from 4.6 exahash to a current level of 5.2 exahash as part of the company's recently announced increase in self-mining capacity to 5.5 exahash. So that's really good there. All remaining 0.3 exahash of miners have been delivered and are pending installation. So that's good there also. And then in addition to the 160 megawatt of operating data centers in BC supporting 4.9 exahash, commissioning of the first 20 megawatt at Childress supporting the remaining 0.6 exahash is nearing completion. See below. So let's take a look at down below. The company is pleased to advise that the first 20 megawatt data center is now operational at Childress, Texas, following energization of the 100 megawatt primary substation on April 22nd. So that was only a couple of days ago. And the first batch of miners have been installed and are currently hashing. So that's good news there. And then commissioning of the balance of the 20 megawatt data center is expected imminently. So that's also really good there. Let's see, and then they're just thanking them. So overall, this is good. They've grown actually pretty well here. And we'll take a look at the numbers I do have for them. So let's take a look at the spreadsheet for them as well. And we'll get into all the details. But as always, the spreadsheet is available to my Patreon members. And then all of the YouTube members also get basically a printout of these metrics here. But what I wanted to point out to you guys here really quick is their hash rate increase. So at the end of March, they were at approximately 2 exahash. By them getting to almost 4.8 exahash? Let's see here. Where was it? 4.6. So 4.6, that's basically 2.6 exahash of increase in a 1 month. That's going to be one of their biggest increases here that they've had all year that I've been tracking them, it looks like. It's going to be a huge increase for them. And we'll see how that impacts all of their revenues and everything else, but it's good to see that. We can also see here that the 5.5 is the future hash rate. So they were at approximately 2 exahash by the end of March. That left them with about 3.5, and they're installing a lot. 2.6 exahash, that's a lot to install in 1 month. So great job to those guys for doing it. Okay, so let's take a look at the numbers that we do have here on them. They have about 55 million shares outstanding right now. Market cap is at 224 million. And stock price has not been updated today. That will get updated later on. Let me see here. As far as the weekly performance, you can see the weekly performance has been pretty good for the most part, except last week. And last week, pretty much everybody was down for that week. But they have had pretty good performance here going through with their, if you bought 12 weeks ago, you're up 76.8% on them right now, possibly a little bit more with given what happened today. But BTC production, as you can see here, started going nicely up here in the summer of 2022 and into the fall. But after that, they dropped quite heavily here from October to November, and that was basically because they give back, I believe it was around 3 exahash of miners that were in default through their special purpose vehicles. And ever since then, they've been kind of increasing lightly here, but not significantly, but it has grown a little bit here. Okay, as far as their HODL to market cap is, they pretty much sell everything that they mine monthly, so there is no HODL. Market cap is basically 100% hash rate. And then hash rate left, we already talked about that. And then BTC, since they don't HODL anything, sell anything, it's basically whatever the BTC that they mined in March is, so 173 there. And you can see the monthly difference for the BTC produced here. They had a big drop in November, which we covered already. Their BTC per exahash efficiency has also been coming down here, but they're still pretty good as far as on the average compared to the other miners. They're pretty close to being like the top 5 miners as far as efficiency comes to mine. They have been at, I think, 1 or 2 months prior where their efficiency was the best out of all the miners that we covered. And they're really right at the top of that as well. And then here you can see their BTC sold, how much they've been selling, and they've been selling a lot here over the past 12 months. Biggest number that they sold was in October, 448, 325, 301 in August, and that kind of coincides with what they were actually mining here in those months as well. Okay, so that's that information. Take a look at the hash rate revenue here. Their hash rate, you can see, peaked in October right around almost 3.9 exahash. Then they had to pretty much give back, what was it, 2.5 almost exahash from October to November, so that was a big drop for them. But they have been growing it quite nicely here in the months after that, so that's good there. And you can see the hash rate increases, and it's been about 55 petahash, 200, 79 petahash, and again at 200 petahash. Now we're going to have 2.6 exahash, which is going to be their biggest growth here yet. Now, when it comes to Bitcoin revenue has been going up here as well, which is good to see. Their worst month was in December of only 2.085 million. We're up to 4.345 million here in March. Still nowhere near where they were in October. October, obviously, they had a lot of miners running at that time. They mined a lot of Bitcoin. And it's going to be interesting to see if they can get back up to that with Bitcoin price going up, hash rate going up also. So that kind of has an impact on it as well. But if they can get it to 5.5 exahash, see how close they can get to the 8.8. I'm guessing they're going to possibly beat that next month or this month, depending how long the miners were mining. If not this month, they probably will beat it next month. Okay, so and then BTC sold value, here's all the values that they sold. Consistently, they have been selling pretty much whatever they have mined each month. And then last 4 quarters revenue, we can see that their revenue here kind of peaked in Q4 of 22, which was the June ending period for 2022 at 17.145 million. And ever since then, it has been coming down here. And their current quarter estimate, which would be January, February, March, is right around 11.4 million. So I'm expecting this would be probably their Q3. I'm expecting Q4 to be even better than this now that they have a lot of hash rate installed. And then the last 4 quarters operating costs, you can see that those have been going way up here through Q1 in the September quarter. Even their costs were higher than their actual revenue was, which was not good, but they've been spending a lot of money on miners, growing and everything else. So that's expected. And then you can see that it came down here in Q2 a little bit here to 19.9. Like to see them stay under that if possible for this current quarter or the past quarter and then this quarter as well. But they've been installing a lot of miners, so it might be kind of hard to stay under that. Now, other metrics here, cost to mine 1 BTC did go up here a little bit, but they've been averaging around between, I'd say, like 10,000 and somewhere around 9,000 on the average here if you look at it all. So it's been pretty good. They have pretty good cost structure as far as when it comes to mining. And then their Bitcoin mined quarterly has come down a little bit here, but you can see that they had a really good increase here in Q1 of 2023, but it did decrease a little bit here as in Q2. Now I'm expecting that to come down even more in Q3, which would be January, February, and March. And that's based on what they actually mined here, and we'll look at that here in a second. Okay, debt to equity ratio has been going up consistently here. For some reason, I have the same numbers here for Q1 and Q4, along with the same numbers here for current ratio. I have to look into that, why that is the case. Kind of strange that they would be at the same number there, but it could be, well, I think it's because they report, I have to look if they report biannually, so twice a year, or if they report quarterly. I'll have to look into that. I think that might be the reason for this. And then total current assets, you can see here, that stayed the same here for those 2 quarters, which I think is the reason why for it, because they didn't report one of the quarters, and same thing as well for the total current liabilities as well. Total current liabilities, let's see here, I should have updated this to probably be 500 million. Let's see, total current assets. Let's update this. That should be 500 on it. If we look at it, max value will go to 500 million. Actually, let's do that 200 million. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that brings it down, and then we can also do this for that one, bring that one down to 200 million, so that way they're both even. And looking at it here, we can see that their current assets are less than their current liabilities. So that's why we have a current ratio of 0.5 here. That would explain it on that one. Okay. And then institutions here, we can see that institutions have been coming down here a little bit. We did get a little bit of an increase the last month. Shares stayed the same amount. Percentage went up a little bit, or shares did increase a little bit here. But the percentage went up a little bit, and we still have 2 strong buys, 3 buy ratings, 2 hold ratings, 0 underperformance, 0 sells. Price target is still $8 for the high. Average is $6.42, and the low is $4. I have them right around that range as well with a PE of 15. So current quarter revenue is about 11.4 million. Last 3 quarters was about 47. Combined is about 58 million. 50% net income from gross revenue. I'm looking at about $8 for them, where I think they should be fairly valued. And then if we get to 75% net income, we're looking at $11.99. Now, if they do grow even more this year, which the potential is there for them, but we'd have to definitely look at the balance sheet here, see how they're doing on that. If they get to a 20 PE, well, now we're looking at $10.65 to $15.98. And they are currently at $4.09, roughly right around there, maybe a little bit higher. So I still think that they are undervalued from where they should be. Okay. Now, as far as their BTC production is concerned for this current quarter, you can see here that it's going to be under that 700 some that they had in Q4 of last year. They're going to be about 501, whereas before they had 722, so they are under that a little bit for this quarter as well. But with the current increase in hash rate and everything else, they should be mining better than that. We'll see how well they do, given that the fact that the network hash rate has increased, so that has reduced some of the production output, I guess you could say. Okay, so that is it. Let me know what you guys thought of all of this. As always, a lot of information. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, Patreon members get the Excel files, everything here. YouTube members get the printout, basically, of this. Thank you for everyone there for their support. And if you guys have any questions, comments, or anything like that, put them down in the comments down below. Love talking to you guys there. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, and then we got Friday, and then basically the end of the month. And then we start next week with the whole new slew of Bitcoin production updates for all the miners when they actually start releasing those. Okay, so that'll be fun and interesting as well to see how they're doing. So that's it. Hope you guys have a great evening. I'll see you guys in the next one.